4 tips to bulk up without getting fat. Tip number 1, make sure you have the correct calorie surplus. If you've been training from 0 to 1 year, calorie surplus of about 300 to 500 calories per day. Step number 2 is your macronutrients. Consume minimum 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. And for carbs and fats, don't really worry too much about it. Don't consume less than 20% of your total caloric intake for the fats. If you're someone that plays a lot of sport, maybe you want a high calorie intake. It also depends on how much volume you do in your workout. Step number 3 is have a good training program. I mean, if you don't have a good training program, how can you build more muscle mass? This means adding more volume over a period of time and getting stronger over a period of time. And number 4 is eat more satiating foods. These will have higher protein, higher fiber, low palatability, and low energy density. Energy density is how many calories per gram. For example, broccoli is low energy density and a candy bar is high energy density. So the primary factor when it comes to bulking up without gaining a lot of fat is your calorie surplus, right? So if you have an excess of a calorie surplus, then you're gonna gain way more fat than you're gonna gain muscle. Keep in mind, you can only gain a certain amount of muscle mass. For beginners, this is about 20 to 24 pounds of muscle per year, equivalent to about 2 pounds per month. And for intermediate, this halves. One of the main reasons that you also don't want a very big calorie surplus is because of this. If you start to gain more fat, your muscles will become less sensitive to this muscle growth and stimulus that you're giving your body when lifting these weights. So there you go. Bulking up without gaining fat, it all depends on how many years you've been training. The longer you've been training, the less of a calorie surplus you require, and most of you are probably beginners, therefore you can, again, like I said, shoot for a high calorie surplus of about 500. Now, some individuals, and this might be you, that are extremely hard gainers, maybe you want a high calorie surplus, then like let's say 500 calories, right? Just see what works for you, but most individuals just stick to that number that I've given you. Now the reason I said eat more satiating foods is because eating more foods that fill you up more means you'll be less hungry as well. And personally, when I go on a bulk, and probably you do the same as well, is that when you go on a bulk phase, from a diet phase, you get all excited and just eat anything inside. But if you eat food that aren't like really tasty, let's say like sweet potatoes, white potatoes, that's going to prevent overeating and spilling over and gaining way too much fat in comparison to muscle mass. So that's how to bulk up without getting fat. Just make sure you increase the volume load in your training program and also lifting more weight over a period of time. That way you're going to ensure muscle growth and therefore you're going to bulk up nicely. So that's the end of the video. If you like to watch more videos on how to bulk up, you can click here, man. And that's it. Stay positive, stay smiling, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.